Makeup, you want to do about 2 tones. You're going to be doing like 2 tones darker than what your actual face is, because whenever you get up on stage, the lights are so bright and they make you look even paler than you actually are, and that can kind of wash you out and your face won't be seen as well. Okay. I'm so beautiful. Yes, you are. Gorgeous. Great job. Alrighty. So for whenever you're applying, since you're trying to make him look more like a boy, when we're adding makeup, we're going to be making, boys usually have stronger face features, so they have more square. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of filling in more square facial features. Well, there's a recording happening. So then we're adding into that square, which will be more when I go in with the darker color. We'll see the square even more. You're doing great, man. His square jaw, and then we're also going to make his nose look a little bit wider, since usually we try to make girls' nose look like tinier and more delicate, whereas the boys, you kind of want to make it look a little more wider and more mature in that way. You're doing great. All right, and then we're going in with the darker color, so we're going to kind of make it look even more square. I know it's like looking really weird. I know it's looking like war paint.
Wait, what? I don't know what I look like.
Trust the process, man.
I trust it. Yeah.
And then I'm going to go in on his jaw as well. So if you think about it, whenever we put makeup on, we also want to put it on our neck, because ultimately, if we're going 2 tones darker with your face and then we go to put makeup on and then your neck is somehow much lighter than up here, there's supposed to be a shadow here. So because your head's above it. So you also want to make sure you're adding a darker color to the jaw and then down the neck.
Bow before me.
Liam, look at me for another reference. Very good. Okay.
Alrighty, so then here's where the magic happens, okay? So I'm using a fluffy brush. You can also use a sponge. A sponge can also be used. I know somebody have beauty blenders, or there's also, I know the moms will know, but the triangle sponges that you can get that are disposable. Yeah, so those are also good. I'm just gonna go in a fluffy brush because I can disinfect this later. So we're blending out. I'm going in with the lighter pieces first, since then if I go later and then if I do the darker colors first and then go in, then it will be like smeared all over, and we don't want that. And then I'm gonna go in and blend out these darker pieces. And some of like the best people to work with are people, like I love having people in my chair, but whenever I'm able to tell people, this is what I'd like you to do, and when they go do it, it's like, I could kiss you. Not really, but oh my gosh, I love you so much. Thank you. No, you're good. So I took it in, and then there's some spaces I would still want to kind of like this part to be a little bit lighter.
Can you turn your cheek so they can see it too? Just you can turn it over to me, like look at me.
Yeah.
So this is
So I kind of want this to have a little bit more, so there's more of a line that I can see that's visible. So that way, I know it looks really crazy up here. I might, if it's okay at the end, I might have them go across the room.
We could put him on the stage too. And
Yeah, that way you guys can see, because honestly it looks crazy up close, but once you get further away, it looks less crazy.
Like when you get off the stage after a play, people see you and they're like, what? But then when they first see you on stage, you're like, wow.
Yes. Waterfall, waterfall. Seriously, let's give our best attention, okay?
Okay, I just want to make sure. I was like, okay.
Back here, you can really see like where his eyes are and where his eyebrows are. I don't know how crazy it looks up there, but from here, your features are very pronounced right now.
Everybody back in the room now. No, not yet. So next I'm going to go into his eyebrows. So for a lot of you who have blonde hair, this is especially important because your eyebrows are a big part of your facial expressions. So whenever you are on stage, you want to fill in your eyebrows with like, if you're blonde, go for like a light brown. If you're like have a darker hair color, you'll want to go to like dark brown to even possibly black, depending on. So that's just going to help. So because your eyebrows are such a big part of facial expression, it's very important, or else they're going to be like, whenever you move your face or your brows and you're like, then people they'll be like, what? Because they can't see the lines in your face. So, but being able to see your eyebrows move will really help. Here, we'll have you go up here after I finish this part. So I'm just feathering it in. I have an angled brush that I'm using.
Eyebrows are so dark and thick.
So dirty. Well, that's another thing, because guys have thicker eyebrows than girls usually have thinner, delicate eyebrows. If you go and watch this is silly, but if you go watch a Disney movie, kind of see how their facial features are drawn, and then kind of think of it like that. Like Flynn Rider, his brows are like a little thicker, versus if you look at Rapunzel, hers are more thin and delicate.
And I know a lot of the lighter
She
color.
doesn't even have any eyebrows.
She doesn't even have eyebrows?
Rapunzel?
Does she?
Yes.
Like, I hope so.
Waterfall, you guys, listen. I know that, for example, I have lighter eyebrows for some reason, and every time my eyebrows, if I'm on stage, nobody can see them from this point. So I look like I just drew eyebrows here and they stop. So on stage, I have to be very intentional to complete the circle of my eyebrows. It doesn't look like I just have two angry eyebrows on stage, okay? So this is an important
Very
step.
important. And also, eyebrows can change how your character is seen. So for Miss Andrews in Mary Poppins, for any of you who saw that or were in it, you were in it. I know you were. So for because she played Bird Woman, and so we did gray, just light, and kind of made it curved. But then when we went to Miss Andrews, we made it angled because she was an angry person, so we wanted it to be sharp.
Sweet and gentle.
Yeah, not sweet and gentle, which I kind of did with the curved
So she had
eyebrows.
to do 2 different makeup looks.
Yeah, she did 2 different makeup looks, so I had to change her in the middle of the show. So and see, we're also making it more square with his eyebrows, so that way we're kind of continuing that square vibe for the men's look. All right, and then I'm gonna get some more neutral tones for his eyes. So I'm gonna go in with this lighter color. You can close your eyes, fine, but. All right, we're gonna go in on the inner corner, kind of lightening that part up, since that's kind of where we want the light to travel. And so now I'm going in with kind of a light dark brown. You'll know like which one's the best. So see, it's kind of just showing up a little bit. It's adding a shadow. So
He can't see it, so he doesn't know what's happening.
No, he has no idea what's happening.
Whenever it stops, I'm like, where did it go? And then when it hits, I get so scared.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. All right, so I'm creating a square. So if you were doing a girls, you would kind of go up like a cat eye. But for him, I'm creating a square. So if you look towards the camera for him. So I'm going in and kind of bringing it down to kind of create a square look here. So that way it's more manly. All right, and I'm over here now.
Okay.
So kind of dragging it out.
The cheekbones look fantastic.
Sorry, Liam.
All right, and then I'm adding this pink tone to kind of like blend in between the lighter color
Miss Sarah, just zoom in.
and that. Alrighty, let me go in right here.
Okay.
Eyeliner can be very hard, and especially for boys. And if you're putting eyeliner on other people, you need to be very, very careful. So I would suggest having a parent do it, but just be very careful. People's eyes are very important, and we like people to be able to see. So
And don't share either.
don't
That's a
share
big one.
eyeliner.
Don't share.
Yeah, don't.
Well, do you have two eyeliner things? Okay.
You're doing so great. Oh my god. All right, open your eye. So it's very subtle for guys. We don't want it to be.
And can you close your eyes so there's a little more?
So we're just kind of adding a line. I would add mascara, but I don't have a separate mascara for it.
I got you.
You good? Yeah, you got it. So, but that just helps people's eyelashes to be seen. Just like we want their eyes to be seen. And this just helps give frame of reference so that way you can see their eyes. And again, for people who have blonde hair, it's very important. Yeah.
There you go. Very good. And open. You're good.
You're good now. Wait. Alrighty. So this is setting powder, and now setting powder is very important because in theater we sweat a lot. True?
Yes.
Yeah, and especially if anyone has ever been an animal and has a fursuit or anything for a show, please use setting powder because otherwise your makeup will melt off or come out off on your costumes. So I suggest if you're going to be doing makeup or setting powder or anything, you are going to want to wait to change into your costume till after it's done. That way makeup doesn't get on your costume. I have had outfits ruined from makeup, and so I don't want that to happen to y'all. And so costumes are very important to keep clean, and so I would suggest doing makeup before you put your costume on.
Wait, what?
Personally. That way it doesn't okay, so I'm very clumsy when it comes to powder. And whenever I come, it's sticking to the brush right now because we use this on his face, but if I were to go here, just give you an idea. If I were to do my normal thing, you can't really see it, but there's powder falling all over his outfit and all his pants. You're wearing a black outfit?
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah.
Going on stage like that.
It will kind of rub off, but not all the way. So I would really suggest if
Only
you're
when
doing
you wash it.
only when you wash it, and sometimes we don't get to do that until sometimes after the show.
So makeup first, then costume.
Makeup
at this
first,
point.
then costume.
All the way through to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If you have a dress and you put it over and then it's just does
Usually get a team to help you, like a couple of people to help you keep that wide open, and then slide over your face.
do you get makeup?
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
So what if you put your costume on and when you're slipping your costume on, it gets it all over it?
That's a good reason to if you were to have somebody else help you put it on. Also, if you have a costume with a lot of buttons, to unbutton it all the way down so that way you can slip it in. If not, yeah, or a zipper. And then also if it's stretchy, stretchy costumes can be hard, but I try to stretch because I put my makeup on before I get dressed in the morning. So then I stretch out the thing and put it down because that is a struggle too. I will admit. So but it's also better to do that than have makeup all down the front of you than if it's just on the collar on the inside of the outfit versus I've had foundation drip down my shirt before, and it was like a pastel blue shirt, and it was not gonna come out of that. And so I've just had outfits ruined, and I don't want that to happen to costumes either.
And the other side too is you could put on like one of those like barber aprons.
Barber aprons are nice.
But I was gonna say, you have a costume department that pre-irons your clothes if you didn't do it yourself, and putting that over it can also push down on the costume and put wrinkles back in. So then you're dealing with that dilemma. So you kind of just need to pick
So
the
then
best
you
of
have
the
to
worst.
iron it all on you.
No, I'd rather not.
There have been times that I have had actors in their costume already, and so what I will do is I will either bring a barber, like what you would do when you get your hair cut on, or I would bring in like a long flowy scarf and wrap it around them so that way it's kind of light, but I know nothing will drip down on them. So if it absolutely needs to happen, that's good, but I try to get all my actors' makeup done first. Yes?
What if your character is supposed to be dirty?
Dirty? So that's a good one. For the chimney sweeps in Mary Poppins, they would add the dirt on after they had their costume on.
They did because
Yeah. So
Because-
that was
we were sitting backstage, and I saw them like getting their their black eyeshadow and just rubbing it on their face
Yeah.
when they already had their black costumes on.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then that's just one thing that you're gonna want to check with either your director or if you have a costume person, you want to talk to them about, well, my character's supposed to be dirty, so is it okay because sometimes now I don't want people to see this as permission. Don't see this as permission. Ultimately, it's director, costume department, and then what it is. But sometimes there are times where you have to age costumes, and you would want your costume department's permission to do that. But if you were to have something that's like dirt that you use on your face, so then you can put it on your costume. Like if you were someone in the like Les Mis or something, and they were in one of the poorer people, you would want to talk with your costume person and your director first, and then sometimes that might be something they want to do. But yeah, that was a really good question, so thank you. So yes, so he's done. I would usually bring it up further under his eye, but I just didn't want to mess with his eyes today, so I don't.
What would you recommend for lips too, as far as
For lips,
boys
oh, thank you for that.
specifically?
So
Wait, does he get his own lipstick?
do I get makeup?
Well, you are made up
You are
already.
made up. So I have-
listen closely to this, especially guys, because this is always one of my biggest questions every year about lips. And
Thank you for reminding me too, because I was totally about to let him go.
oh, you're good.
So for him, it's kind of like a lip gloss, but it's like a tinted lip gloss. So it also depends, I'll get to the ladies in a bit, but so for this, I'm kind of doing something that's like 2 shades darker
Oh,
than
that's
what
what we
it
did
is.
for Mary Poppins.
Yeah, so it kind of adds a more natural, but it's gonna help his lips be a little more seen. It looks really natural. It looks like the same color. Sorry.
It looks like they're strawberries.
Stop making me smile.
All right, so it's just adding a little bit of a color to it, so that way it's they can be seen. You don't want to overline guys' lips. You kind of just want to go with the actual shape they are. So we're just keeping it. We're not going to make. So sometimes with girls, you kind of overline the lips or try to make it a little bit bigger and more feminine. But we're just going with his basic lip shape, so that way it can be seen. So the reason lipsticks are important is, again, we're projecting with our face with makeup. So if your lips can't be seen, which you're using to project your voice, then for some people, their main way of hearing is reading lips.
Yes.
So especially people with ADHD, or there's people who need to actually see people's faces to like understand what they're saying. And lips can be very important for that. So again, I know it's silly like seeing a guy get makeup on, but it's actually really gonna be helpful. For me, it's silly not seeing a guy have makeup on when I go to see a show, because then they just stand out and I'm like, I can't even see your character. So it's actually really helpful